Hello and welcome into the Hawkeye Headquarters Weekly Podcast. Evan Denton alongside Joel Kellar. A busy week of basketball in both men's and women's, and a little bit of football to look forward to ahead on Sunday. But let's begin with the ladies. It was a tough week out on the West Coast for Iowa, dropping 2 games to both USC and UCLA. Joel, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you on the panic meter for this team?
You know, when we were talking last week before this week, this stretch of games, there's like the potential was unlimited, basically, right? Now I think you see the ceiling kind of drop a little bit. So I'm not like too worried about the team in itself. Like I'd probably say like a 3 or 4.
Okay.
But I think obviously like a championship run is not within reach of this team without McCabe. Final Four is even probably best case scenario. It's just an appearance in that. So I think in that sense, I do think the ceiling has fell quite a bit.
Okay. I think I'm more of a 5 on the panic scale because, yes, there is no Taylor McCabe, but there are a lot of self-induced turnovers, all right?
Yeah.
And, yes, those can be fixed easily, but they let the moment get to them too early, in my opinion, against USC, who obviously no Juju Watkins, but still they have a lot of talent, and the team did not come ready to play.
No.
I'm kind of shocked by that. And obviously UCLA is a different animal. I mean, they have 5 scorers that have over 1,000 career points in their starting lineup. But I'm more worried about the USC game because they just weren't ready from the jump.
Yeah, I agree with you there. The UCLA game was fun in that first quarter, keeping it close. But USC is kind of more the matchup you're looking for Iowa to kind of prove it as, they're a team that can host.
Right.
And I get it's on the road, like you said, without McCabe for the first game. And so I understand where, they probably weren't quite ready for the moment, but, man, they looked like not prepared at all for that game.
And obviously you are a great journalist, but imagine you are an NCAA tournament official, all right? Are you looking at Iowa's resume for the entire season or how they look post-Taylor McCabe injury?
I think since it happened at the end of January, you got to probably look at how they look post-Taylor McCabe injury. Now, that's not saying that if they finish on the edge and, they kind of look like a 4 or a 5, the play at the beginning of the season, beginning of Big Ten play, won't push them over. I think that would help out. But without McCabe, they have a lot of time to figure it out. But they're obviously missing leadership on the court.
Right.
And just kind of like that stone there to help them push through those tough moments, those tough stretches.
Yeah, like you said, her leadership was definitely missing. They had 32 turnovers in the last 2 games. You just can't do that. And her immediate replacement was Addie Deal, all right? Going back to California for her first 2 starts, this is her stat line over those 2 games. Combined, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. All right, how much of that was due to nerves or her just not meeting expectations?
I think it's probably a mix of the two. With how good she was playing before off the bench, I think the expectations were kind of like sky high. Like, okay, can she get like 15 points for him? 5 assists, a couple of boards. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
No, it did not happen
at all. But I think the nerves are there. I mean, she because of those expectations, she's coming in, playing away games in her home state and making her first collegiate starts against 2 really good teams, especially UCLA. I mean, she's just a freshman and she's playing against some of the best college basketball players in the country. So it's a tough position to be in, and I think there's a lot of growth still from her, obviously as a freshman, but as she gets comfortable in that starting role, because it's a different animal to start out a game.
Absolutely. I think Jan Jensen has a very important situation right here, all right? Tough 2-game stretch for Addie Deal, but you can't ruin her confidence because like you said, she is still a very young freshman, all right? There are some hot takes on social media saying, hey, it's time to pull Addie Deal back to the bench and bring in Taylor Stremlow. I don't think that's a good idea because confidence is so key for a young player, and if a young player loses it, it's really hard to get it back.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's just not a move at all that they should take. And I'm kind of thinking, too, say you do send Addie Deal to the bench and you bring Stremlow up. Stremlow's been playing phenomenal off the bench. And, maybe she continues that momentum with the starting group. Well, then you've got a bench group that's missing their leader basically off the bench. And you throw an Addie Deal who you just killed the confidence of because you benched her. into that rotation, I feel like a lot of things could go way haywire there, and that would potentially change the course of the season. So.
And it was a tough stretch, obviously, on the road, going 0 for 2. But one bright spot was one of our local talents, Journey Houston, averaging over 11 points in the 2-game stretch and 5 rebounds. She's really been a pleasant surprise this year for Iowa off the bench.
Yeah, she has. I mean, I think almost every game you could look at her as her bright spot. I mean, she always makes those winning plays.
Right.
So I think she's setting herself up well for a role in the 4 spot, whether that's, in that starting lineup next year or the year after, or even, just next year, like a really important role-playing job as the backup power forward, maybe the 3 too.
This might be one of the quotes of the year, but Kylie Feuerbach, talking about Journey Houston, said that she thinks that Journey has glue on her hands because she always gets all the rebounds seemingly when she's on the court, which, I mean, she's not wrong.
Very
efficient.
Always it's up there.
Yeah, offensive or defensive rebounds, Journey Houston is there to get it. All right, so this past weekend, we had the Grammy Awards, okay? Obviously for great music around the country. If you were given the aux cord, all right, in the women's basketball locker room to kind of either summarize this past week or to motivate them, what is your song and why?
Well, I am a born optimist.
Okay.
I'm going to try and motivate them. I'm going to bring out Shut Up and Drive by
Oh,
Rihanna.
nice. Okay.
It's a fire song. It's amazing, and I think it's just, it gets you in that right feeling of like, all right, screw what happened in the past. We're going to move forward. We're going to make stuff happen.
I like that. That's a really good choice. I went with the good old classic, The Show Goes On by Lupe Fiasco, because Iowa is still 18-4, all right? We can't be too mad about that. We're just worried that they might not be able to host a couple of NCAA tournament games, if you will. But they still have a lot to prove, and one bad week does not define your season, okay? So you got to remain optimistic and keep moving forward. They have a big game tonight against Minnesota, who's been an upstart team, looking like a tournament team, and Iowa's won the last 11 straight in this series. So no pressure or anything, but is this kind of a must-win for Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think necessarily a must-win, but I think it's that win against Minnesota, if that happens, it's gonna solidify them, I think, into hosting a tournament game or two.
Right. I mean, because Iowa dropped from number 8 to number 10, so the sky is not falling on this team whatsoever.
Hope is not gone. Sweet 16, Elite 8, you're still there. That's a successful season.
A 6 p.m. tip-off, rather. I hope it's a good-sized crowd to give this Hawkeye team some juice to start off strong, but we'll have to wait and see if this Iowa team can get back on the right foot.
Yeah. I think the crowd will be there too. I mean, both teams are out.
Yeah.
We're out on the West Coast, so people are ready to get back in the Carver Hawkeye.
Absolutely. All right, the men's team had a different opposite on their West Coast trip. They sweep both Oregon and Washington. Bennett Sturts, as we know, is that dude. He surpassed 2,000 career points, a career-high 32 against Oregon. Joel, he played 78 of 80 possible minutes over the last 2 games. How is he doing this?
You asked that question, I think, the first week of the season.
It's unreal.
It's crazy. It seems like he has no limit with his energy. He's constantly able to go 100%.
Yeah. And we talk about James Harden having that patented step-back 3. I think Bennett Sturts has the college version of that step-back 3 because off the dribble, using a pick and roll, he's lethal, and he's shooting lights out from behind the arc right now.
He is. I don't think it's looked as good as his shooting has been the past 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple cold stretches in January. That happens to everyone. But he's came out firing in a moment where the Hawks really need it.
Right.
I mean, before this 5-game winning streak, it was kind of like, are they on the bubble? Are they even going to make it? And now it's like, okay, the Hawks, the men's team, they're in it. They're going to be in the tournament.
Yeah.
They're mathematically, as long as the wheels don't fall off and they lose every game, they're mathematically going to make the tournament.
There is a 7-10 game in St. Louis. NCAA Tournament Committee, if you're watching this, we would not mind seeing Iowa go to a drivable game in St. Louis. But it's all about finding rhythm at the right time for these squads, obviously. The Brendan Haasson situation is very interesting, all right, because he played 16 minutes against Oregon. He scores 11 points. Then last night against Washington, he only plays 3 minutes, all right? How can you possibly be an X factor on the team if you rarely see the court?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. His offensive skill set, I think, deserves him to play a lot more.
Right.
But I kind of get where McCollum is going, not playing him quite as much. I would like to see him on the court way more. I'll preface that. But he is obviously probably just not even like his skills as a defender may not be the worst, but I mean, with how small he is compared to the rest of the team, there is a bit of a disadvantage having him out there, especially when you play some lengthier teams like you see in the Big Ten. So I understand why he's not getting as many minutes, especially in those close games. But I do think, and we saw it with the Illinois game, his three-point shooting, especially at the end of a game, it can pay off dividends.
Yeah. I also think that the emergence of Tate Sage might have come a year early in Ben McCollum's mind. So maybe Tate Sage is taking a handful of Hassan's minutes, which rightfully so. I mean, Tate Sage has been incredible. But yeah, he just adds another shooter to the floor, gives more space to Bennett Sturz to drive, and I feel like that's still something that we haven't seen, and there's about a month left until March Madness really kicks in.
Yeah, maybe they're like saving the magic of Brendan Hausen for March. You know, I mean, the three-point shooters in March, that's what gets you past the first weekend.
You are not wrong. It was a big week for the role players, though, for Iowa. I mean, Alvaro Figueres has had 3 straight double-digit scoring games. Cooper Koch came to life against Washington late. And Isaiah Howard, he might not fill the stat sheet in terms of points, but he makes the winning plays. And that kind of effort is what you're going to need to get from the first weekend into that second weekend in March Madness.
Yeah. And not every guy can score 10 points in a game. It's just not mathematically possible. So to have guys like that kind of add, especially coming off the bench, that energy, the passion to win. You said it. That's what gets you to that next level.
Right. And they're on a 5-game win streak. They play my alma mater, the lowly Northwestern, this year. That should be a W for Iowa. They then go at Maryland, who they've already beaten this year, and then they get a home game against Purdue. All right. Bennett Sturz against Braden Smith, Part 2. And Joel, it's going to be a sold-out Carver Hawkeye Arena.
First time in a while.
First time
in a little over 2 years. I'm excited.
I mean, just to see the way that the energy is coming back into this program, there's now numbers behind it. It's a sold-out crowd. That's going to be an electric atmosphere, and I really cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and especially with the amount of time between games, too, in Carver Hawkeye. I mean, you have this game on Sunday. Yeah. It's the Super Bowl. I, myself, will be there watching the game, but I understand why a lot of people will not make the trip out because of the Super Bowl.
Right.
So there's going to be, 3 weeks between true home games where that's kind of like the standalone game for Hawkeye fans. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of excitement. Just don't lose to Northwestern.
No. Because Iowa legitimately could be on a 7-game win streak going into that Purdue massive showdown, so we'll have to wait and see. All right, so same question for you about this 2-0 week for Iowa. If you're given the aux chord, what song are you playing to summarize it?
Going back a couple of decades, we go an Ice Cube song, It Was a Good Day.
I love it.
You know, it was a great week.
It was.
Great week. So you got to sit back on the accomplishments. But I think that song also kind of like makes you like look back. Like you're not just like celebrating, you know, and actually like okay, like the confidence builder, like we can do this. I think that song could help them be like, okay, we can keep this moving.
Okay. So I went with a more recent song for my choice.
Okay.
It's the song called Walk in Your Trap, Take Over Your Trap by good old Bankroll Fresh. I mean, they went thousands of miles away to the West Coast, and they're coming back with 2 victories. They're feeling pretty good about themselves, and they showed that Iowa can travel out west and leave their mark on the West Coast. So that's my song. A great week for Iowa men's basketball.
Yeah, I love that pick. It's been so long since I've seen a Hawkeye win on the West Coast, so it feels like a dream, honestly.
All right, let's go from basketball over to football. It is the big one. We're talking about the Seahawks and Patriots. Obviously, Mason Richmond is the lone Hawkeye in this game playing for the Seahawks. They're favored by 4.5 points right now. Is that a fair bet, in your opinion?
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be like pretty close. So 4 might be a little too many points.
Okay.
I guess they're giving them 5 points. So I don't know.
And remind our viewers, what is your take on the length the team needs to go through for a legitimate rebuild?
It's got to be 10 years.
And so clearly the Patriots are fast forwarding through that time period.
Everyone's fast forwarding through it except for my Giants. I don't know what the issue is with this. It's annoying.
Now, all right, if the Patriots win on Sunday, where do you put Drake May in terms of tiers of quarterbacks in the NFL?
He's got to be. He's in the tier right below like the Mahomes, Burrows, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I think that second tier where Jalen Hurts was until this year.
Dropped off a little bit.
But yeah, right up there near the top. I mean, he's probably going to end up second in MVP voting, and if he gets a ring on top of that, I'm sure Super Bowl MVP there. I mean, he's made all the right plays. He's had some bad games, right? I mean, you saw the AFC Championship.
Right.
He didn't play phenomenal.
No, he did not.
But I mean, he's made the winning plays, and he's shown that he can make those final drives consistently to push them on top.
It'd be a nice start to a future Caleb Williams, Drake May rivalry in the Super Bowls in upcoming years.
Thinking Jackson Dart, bring back Giants, Patriots.
No,
everyone loves.
That's too many East Coast teams. We need to have a little bit of Midwest flavor in those games. But for both the Giants and Bears, who have first-year head coaches coming up, obviously for Harbaugh, and then second year for Ben Johnson. In this game, Mike Vrabel, year one in New England. Mike McDonald, year two in Seattle. So if you find the right coach, you open up a title window almost overnight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you even think back to Kyle Shanahan, too. I mean, 3 years later, they're winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. They're taking down the dynasty. So you see it a lot year after year, and I think that is kind of why we started to see coaches turn over a little more. If they're not showing anything after 2 or 3 years, then it's like, okay, they're not a good coach, because you see all these success cases like Vrabel. Like, I don't know what the Titans were getting. Should have never happened.
No, it should not have.
Vrabel getting Drake May and a really good Pats defense, look at what he's done. McDonald again with really, really good Seahawks defense, and Sam Darnold, continuing the magic from Minnesota.
Yeah, my good old friend J.J. McCarthy's under a lot of pressure next year for the Vikings, but I digress. I mean, shout out to Sam Darnold for proving everyone, a.k.a. me, wrong. I didn't think he had it in him. But this is a good old Mike Vrabel, Ohio State, versus Mike McDonald, Michigan game. So you kind of know where I'm leaning on this one, but what is your prediction for Sunday?
My prediction, I said it there, close battle. I think it's going to be, it's going to come down the wire, hopefully like a last-second field goal or a touchdown. But it will come down to that final drive. I think the Pats are going to come out on top, though. And I think a lot of people are going Seahawks. But
yeah, I'm shocked to hear you say that. Wow.
I don't know. I feel like Drake May is going to be able to get the job done. I think, Stephon Diggs has all this stuff going on off the field. But this is like his magic moment. I mean, his entire career has been about getting to this spot. I mean, he missed it just short time after time again. I think he's going to have a good game. And then this defense, this pass rush is exceptional. Then you get on the outside, Christian Gonzalez is, I think, top 3 probably in the league. And if you want to stop JSN, throw Christian Gonzalez on him. You might not stop him, but you'll limit him, I think.
I think the word you're looking for is contained, because stopping JSN is a very tall task. And yes, I know he's a Ohio State Buckeye, but I got to give him his props. He's, in my opinion, one of the top 4 receivers in the NFL, and he's had a breakout year. I'm going with Seattle, all right? Not just because Mike McDonald is a Michigan guy, like I said. I just think Sam Darnold, this is his moment to make some big-time plays. Then you have Kenneth Walker III in the backfield, who's been a workhorse.
Yeah, no Charbonnet.
No Charbonnet. That hurts, but I think K9, as they called him back at Michigan State, can carry the load for one more game. And, I mean, the Seattle defense has been phenomenal.
Yeah, they're great.
And just the idea of Seattle winning it all on the 49ers home field. Like one of our coworkers, Jay Kidwell, my sports director, very big Niners fan. He's not too happy about the idea of possibly seeing a NFC West rival win it all on the 49ers home field, but that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, especially if the Seahawks are in the Niners locker room.
Yes.
If that's their assigned locker room and they're popping the champagne in there after the game, that would be hilarious.
I'm going with Seattle winning this 24-14. I think the Drake May magic runs out when they play a legitimate team that's at more or less full strength.
Wow. Okay.
And I said what I said. I've got Seattle winning by 10. I don't know if you saw the Pat McAfee show the other day, but they had Cooper DeJean on. All right, he talked about Iowa being an NFL organization, kind of like a factory. That's kind of a fair comparison, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, we've been knowing this for years. They put out the equivalent to like the Ohio States and Alabama's basically. Yeah. I mean, they're right up there with them on every category for NFL talent, like year after year.
I would agree. Like NFL made ready talent comes out of Iowa City, and to see Cooper DeJean doing big things along with so many other great players from Iowa, it's really nice to see that these guys are performing at the next level.
Yeah. And, Coop's building himself a little brand, too.
What do you mean by that, Joel?
I mean, he's got his podcast, right?
Right, okay.
And he's getting out on Pat McAfee show and stuff. And, yeah, I think Iowa has always been like the silent team, right? For the longest time, Kirk Ferentz didn't allow any of the players to have social media, but now you're getting to know them a little better. I mean, everyone loves Cooper DeJean now.
Yes.
And I think social media is played a big role in that. And I think it's cool, like, you get to see what all these other players on different teams, like, those fans of those teams got to know their players well on social media. And now Iowa's kind of going through the same thing. I mean, Tristan Wirfs at the Pro Bowl, he had a couple of viral moments, too, and he's been on a couple podcasts. And, yeah, it's been kind of fun, like, seeing the Hawks kind of, like, make waves. Caitlin Clark, too, was hosting that broadcast there. Got compared to Peyton Pritchard.
Let's talk about that for a second. How in the world did Reggie Miller, one of the best shooters of all time, standing right next to Caitlin Clark, who's going to be in the conversation for the WNBA GOAT, say that her NBA comp is Peyton Pritchard, who is a Sixth Man of the Year candidate? I mean, what?
It makes no sense. Just it's like, an awful. But of course, Pritchard goes off and hits a buzzer beater the next day. So then it's like, they're kind of similar.
That is just not the first person I would have thought, and that's probably not even the 10th person I would have thought of.
No.
NBA comps. I mean, Steph Curry's right there.
Steph Curry's the automatic one. You just go down the list of like the top shooters, basically.
Right. Yeah, Caitlin Clark handled it well. Yes, there are a few memes going around where she went straight to a frowning face, which I think we all were like, what is Reggie Miller saying? But no, I thought she handled it very well because that could have gone south real quick.
Oh, yeah. I would have been offended if I were her.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I have no words for what Reggie Miller was thinking there. But no, hopefully Caitlin has a great bounce back year after injuries last year, and she should be leading Team USA in a couple years over at the Olympics. That will be her coming out.
I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah. All right, so speaking of those Olympics, we have the Winter Olympics coming up later this weekend. Joel, what is your favorite Winter Olympic sport?
Favorite Winter Olympic sport? Probably, I love seeing all the stunts, the skis. I don't know all the names, but there's like a couple of them. Of course, the high one, and then you got the one where they're kind of doing like the flips up and down. I think those are so cool because I could like never do that.
Yeah.
I can barely ski. When I go skiing, I don't know how to turn. I just go straight down and then I fall to stop. I don't really know how to do the rest.
So even though I'm from Michigan, I don't know how to ice skate or to ski. So I think my favorite Winter Olympic sport is curling because you turn it on and you're thinking, okay, I could be a pro in this sport. I mean, you just throw a stone or you got to be good at sweeping the ice. But no, there is a technique to it. I don't know it, but I think it's very nice to see some kind of sport like that get its shine once every 4 years because, I mean, do you watch curling at all besides the Winter Olympics?
No, I usually skip past that one
on
TV.
It's not on my bingo card of things I need to watch, but it is cool to see these world class athletes get their airtime.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. And there's so many like interesting Winter Olympics. You got the summer, and those are all kind of like the standard sports, right?
Right.
Winter Olympics. There's one that had me just locked in. I think in 2020 or something. Yeah. And it was cross country skiing.
Okay.
Halfway through the race or whatever, they stopped and they shot little targets.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, and then. They knock down 5 of them or whatever. They throw the gun back on their back and they finish the race. It's like, who came up with that?
No, that's a really cool sport that I need to learn more about.
Tune in soon.
But now we've got basketball, we got football, we've got Olympics, a lot to look forward to this weekend coming up. But for the Hawkeye Headquarters Weekly Podcast, Evan Denton alongside Joel Kellar. Have a great rest of your day.